Hey guys, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Good morning. We're here thanks to the Million Picks offer. And remember, man, now it's for real. Now it starts on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday with prizes almost every day, and also instant prizes, which still go up to 20,000 Rees. But man, there are a lot of prizes now. Remember, it's a benefits club. You exchange your points for products, experiences, and you still get a chance to win prizes. And on the 16th, there's a million Rees. But now there are daily prizes, so you won't miss out, right? Oh no, now it's gone. No, no, there are prizes every day, man. So take advantage, point the QR code over here. Make sure you get yourself a good chance to win. And you can also exchange it for products and experiences because it's a benefits club that's 100% regulated by SUSEP. Come on, man. I'm coming here too, reminding you guys that you can secure your spot. The price goes up every day. You know how the airline is, man. Arouldo's Caravan chooses the best options for you. The best trip for you, Recopa, is in Rio de Janeiro or Buenos Aires. Supercopa in Brasilia. You can be at all of these with Arouldo's Caravan, which doesn't leave you outside, right? Got it? You got the reference, right? So Arouldo's Caravan takes you to Libertadores, Copa do Brasil, Carioca, games at Maracanã, all Flamengo games at Maracanã. You can arrange with the people from Arouldo's Caravan with the ticket included. Ticket in a really great section, so you just need to get in touch with Arouldo's Caravan. Our other sponsors are there in the pinned comment and in the description. Let's discuss Matias Vinha now, right? Signed by River Plate, the player arrives in Argentina today to undergo a medical and sign with River Plate. So there was a call from Gallardo, pressure from Uruguay, right? We're bringing you all the information here. He signs a 1-year loan contract with a purchase obligation if he plays 50% of the games, okay? And the obligation is to buy 100% of the rights. So he's joining Flamengo, the 2019 Copa Libertadores runner-up, right? He has already played for Palmeiras, Libertadores champion, for Flamengo, Libertadores champion, and now he's going to River, who were the 2019 Copa Libertadores runner-up. But Matias Vinha has been going to the club that becomes the Libertadores champion at some point, right? Is it important to say that? So we had some behind the scenes moments with Marcelo Gallardo, right? Pressuring, right? Yeah. Also connecting the pressure from Uruguay right before the World Cup and everything else. Look, so River Plate is presenting themselves this Monday. It's in Argentina. The club expects Matias Vinha to join activities on Tuesday. Tomorrow, yes, the fullback will meet coach Marcelo Gallardo. Yes, he played a decisive role in this decision. According to Fla's column, Gallardo made it clear that Vinha is. He competes for the position with Marcos Acuna, but he promised to give all the support to the fullback so that he can recover his good football, which took him to Europe and made Flamengo bring him from Roma 2 years ago, right? At Flamengo, the Uruguayan was their third choice. We already knew that, right? With Alexandre and Ayrton Lucas ahead of him, right? He also got a message from the Argentine coach Marcelo Bielsa, who is in charge of Uruguay. The coach said that the fullback will only have a chance to go to the World Cup in June if he gets high-level minutes at a club that's a reference, like River Plate, right? According to the Ole newspaper. Okay, the Ole newspaper then reporting that El Loco Bielsa said he needed to get playing time at a big club. That way, he could be considered as an option for the World Cup again, right? So River Plate is going to pay an amount of $500,000, about 2.7 million reais to Flamengo for the loan, plus the obligation to buy. Yeah, man, and that's one more player we can take off the list of possible signings, possible reinforcements for Flamengo. That's management for you. A source close to them already said it was very difficult. Flamengo wasn't going to pay the high price that Santos wanted for Gabriel Brazão, and he prefers to stay at Santos, ruling out leaving to be a backup at Flamengo. He's not coming anymore because it's Gabriel, my namesake, Brazão would rather stay at Santos and play with Gabigol and Neymar, right? He refuses to leave and be a backup at Mengo, according to Vinha and Casagrande. He doesn't want to be a backup or compete for a spot. Yeah, I think that's good, okay? Let me tell you something. If this changes, for example, later people will come and say, hey, but you said you didn't want to go to Flamengo. That's not it. If he chooses Flamengo, it means he considered it and believes he can compete for a spot. I don't want a player at Flamengo who says, I don't want to be a substitute. I'd be grateful if he decides not to come. Well, who says you're a substitute? If you're good, you'll fight to be a starter. You'll be a starter. That's the point. If you're good, you fight to be a starter. If you say, I don't want to go to Flamengo because I don't want to be a substitute, then you shouldn't come to Flamengo. Is it because you already think you're not capable of competing for a spot with Rossi? And just imagine, Flamengo didn't even pay close to a third of what they were going to pay Gabriel Brazão Flamengo. And the guy already considers himself right away worse than Rossi. If he won't join Flamengo because he doesn't want to be a backup, he knows he can't beat Rossi. So, my friends, it's better not to bring the guy if he's already saying he'll be a backup and that he doesn't want to. That's great, man. It's a relief. There's no point saying the guy is coming later. You said you didn't want him. No, I didn't say that. If he came, he must have changed his mind and agreed to be a backup. And he says he doesn't want to be a backup because he believes in his potential. Now, if he doesn't come and says he doesn't want to be a backup at Flamengo, it's because he doesn't believe in his own potential. It's that simple, okay? According to club sources, the goalkeeper insists he should stay the undisputed starter at Peixe and doesn't want to compete for his position. The position no longer benefits his career, especially regarding visibility and a potential Brazilian national team call-up. My friend, how do you expect to be called up to the Brazilian national team if you say you're not able to compete for the position with Flamengo's goalkeeper? Right now, he's not ready for the national team. In my opinion, even Rossi deserved a spot on the Argentine national team. I just need to say, I hope you all understood what I said, right? So his interpretation is clear. Moving to Flamengo would make him Rossi's backup. We have Felipe Luis, who's in Europe. He was at a game in Spain to watch Deportivo La Coruña, where he used to play against Cádiz, right? He watched the match between Deportivo La Coruña and Cádiz, and the Flamengo coach also watched the game. He started his career playing there. The match featured the Brazilian goalkeeper Vitor Aznar, 23 years old, who is the starting goalkeeper for Cádiz. The Flamengo coach was probably observing this player. We can't say for sure. Developed by Verona in Italy, he joined Spanish football at 19 and is now 23. So this is a report by Felipe Silva and then Felipe Luis, evaluating more players in Spain, Felipe Luis, keeping an eye on the players that Flamengo scout selected. He's going to some matches. There you go. Felipe was with Boto at the Sporting match, where they were also watching. Some players say it was Luis Suarez, but it wasn't. They first discussed goalkeeper Andrew, then talked about Colombian striker Luis Suarez. And Flamengo is keeping an eye on players, looking for the possibility of signing Brazilian or South American players who play in Europe. Flamengo is trying to reduce foreign players, so they've been focusing more on Brazilians playing in Europe. And since we're talking about Flamengo's search for Brazilian forwards who play in Europe, we need to discuss Marcos Leonardo, whom we've mentioned before. Flamengo's interest has moved from rumor to reality in recent days, and now everyone is talking about it. GLOBO Esporte is talking about it now, after everyone has been talking about it for a long time. We bring the information here, tell you that something is really happening, and people say, oh, I haven't seen it anywhere. But now it's everywhere, right? So Marcos Leonardo at Flamengo still keeping an eye on Caio. Jorge, the club is expanding its search for a striker. GLOBO Esporte confirming everything we've been reporting. And thanks to Clube de Regatas do Flamengo, Matos is with us too, bringing news about Mengão. So, Cruzeiro's refusals in Flamengo's attempt to sign Caio Jorge made Flamengo reconsider some names. And Marcos Leonardo, since he's Brazilian, standing out in Europe and now in Arabia, right? He's there at Al-Hilal, and we're going to talk about it here. And many Al-Hilal fans are even asking for Al-Hilal to negotiate the player after hearing about Flamengo's interest. The survey conducted by the main profiles covering Al-Hilal shows that Al-Hilal fans want other, more high-profile names than Marcos Leonardo. This is a great opportunity for Flamengo to bring in the striker, in my view. Even Zico, whom I spoke with recently, said he thinks the player is great, so he has our idol Zico's approval. So, Flamengo intends to sort out the reinforcements for next season as soon as possible. The club wants coach Felipe Luis to have maximum time to work with new players during preseason. And the Brasileirão already starts on January 28th, so against São Paulo away from home. 4 days later, Flamengo faces Corinthians in Brasilia for the 2026 Supercopa do Brasil title. So they already want to have everything settled soon, next week, with some signings already announced. When the squad returns, right? The squad returns. On the 12th, the main squad, and then Flamengo is trying to have everything settled by the 15th or 16th, okay? The newspaper GLOBO reported here about Marco Leonardo's situation at Al-Hilal, and then the conduct of legislation is safe, he has influence, a position, bad learning, Zanotto, a muscle injury sideline, Portuguese defender João Cancelo, prompting his registration in the national championship, where he regained strong attacking form. After 12 rounds, Coach Inzaghi's team is at the top of the table. Flamengo's management sees opportunities to pursue the signing. The news of the interest in Marco Leonardo led fans and even the Saudi press to suggest that an offer had already been made. Between 25-30 million euros from Europe, around 196 million reais. This is an amount within Flamengo's reality, as they have made offers of this size for Caio Jorge. If Flamengo makes an offer for Leonardo, they will be going after an equally prolific striker. In my opinion, better. I think Leonardo. GLOBO says he's equally qualified. But for me, Marco Leonardo has better stats than Caio Jorge. In fact, if we think not only about the current season, Caio Jorge has had really bad stats. In past seasons, he had a strong 2025. Look, it just came out. On the main Arab news portals, there are even similar urgent reports. Flamengo is in formal negotiations with Al-Hilal to sign Marcos Leonardo. Flamengo must sign a striker within 3 weeks before the Brazilian Championship begins. So, several news outlets are bringing this story. Look, there are some posts here, apparently that's it. It's not that the Arabs hate Leonardo, especially since that wouldn't make sense considering he scores a lot of goals. It's mostly about reputation. Their rival is their opponents. They have players there, the rival, right? There are high-level players there. They tried Darwin Núñez as a star, but it didn't go so well. He even played alongside Darwin Núñez yesterday. Then a Flamengo fan asked, "Don't you guys like Marcos Leonardo?" No. And then the answer from the Al-Hilal fan, in the Saudi League, there are 8 foreign players and 2 young foreign players. Marcos was among the young players on the list, but due to a change in the system, he became one of the 8 foreign players. Al-Hilal needs more big names in this category among the 8 players. Did you understand? Look, that's the loophole. Marcos Leonardo receives about 5.1 million euros per year at Al-Hilal, which means 32.8 million reais per year. That's about 2.7 million reais monthly. It would be one of the top salaries at Flamengo, it would, but Flamengo, instead of spending 40 or 50 million euros on Caio Jorge, spends 25 million euros on Marcos Leonardo. There's even a player better than Caio Jorge, and what they would have spent to sign him, they pay in salary. So we brought up this salary issue, right? 2.7 million reais per month is what Marcos Leonardo makes at Al-Hilal. He might accept a little less and more incentives, bonuses at Flamengo, but he could accept a bit less. Suppose he agrees to make 2 million reais a month at Flamengo, including bonuses and signing fees. Flamengo would spend much less than with Caio Jorge. The money for his signing would just go toward the salary you'd still have to pay Caio Jorge. They'd pay a lot for him and his high salary, as he'd want top pay at Flamengo. But Flamengo wouldn't do that for Marcos Leonardo. Flamengo spends less than they would. To sign Caio Jorge, they don't lose Cebolinha. They don't lose another player. And what would they spend to sign Caio Jorge? Put it into the guy's salary and it will already be solved. His salary would be similar to what Jorginho and Saul earn at Flamengo. They earn high salaries there. And look, he scored twice as many goals at 22 years old as Caio Jorge did at 24. Look, I'm going to bring Caio Jorge here. He only has one good season, which was this year, 2025. He arrived in 2024 in the second half and did almost nothing. So much so that Gabriel came in to be the undisputed starter, even taking the number 9 jersey. Marcos Leonardo is an opportunistic striker. He takes shots from everywhere. He's always there, always scores his goal. That's 106 goals at 22 years old. It's unbelievable, right? And Zanato, Brazilian Championship at Santos without games, 35 goals. Arab Championship, 33 games, 24 goals. The margin is unbelievable. Portuguese Championship, 17 games, 8 goals. He did really well at all 3 clubs he played for. He didn't flop in Europe, quite the opposite. Our partner here, Tulio Mene, sending this to us here. It worked out well in Portugal. Benfica bought him for 20 million euros in 2024 and sold him for 40 million euros 8 months later, making a 100% profit. Look, Flamengo could also make a profit with Marcos Leonardo. He played 8 months at Benfica, did great, and was sold for double. So you have a player there with better numbers than Caio Jorge and with a lot of potential to increase in value. Guys, the fans over there, the profiles that talk about Al-Hilal, man, the Al-Hilal fan, are you for or against Marcos Leonardo leaving? And then the fans are there responding that they're in favor of him leaving, that they want a more high-profile player. It's a huge signing. If Flamengo manages to pull it off, just to wrap things up here, bringing this last update today about Marcos Leonardo. In the morning, a summary of what's really happening. Flamengo made an inquiry about him last night, and Al-Hilal responded, "You need to send an official offer because there are many offers for him. Al-Hilal must sell him because of regulations, though they see him as a top scorer and great talent." What a loss. 25 million euros Al-Hilal might accept. The article from the Arab portal here is actually fans commenting on the article. So we have it here as well. And look, these are Arab portals, bringing you Arab portals, publishing verified ones, publishing this situation. Now, about Marcos Leonardo, look, he might be on his way to Flamengo, okay? And also Flamengo fans joking around, look, this one already pays practically the full amount for Marcos Leonardo. For Michael, you guys like Michael and all. I even joined in on the joke, right? I posted it on Twitter too. I really like Michael. He's a great guy, so there's no reason to say anything bad about him. He had a bad season, but obviously we're just joking. It would be interesting to make a trade, Michael, for Marcos Leonardo. Now, bringing here is the look, it's Marcos Leonardo in 2025, okay? 43 matches, 29 goals, 43 matches, 29 goals for Marcos Leonardo, Caio Jorge in 2025, 43 matches and 26 goals. Okay, Marcos Leonardo for Al-Hilal, all right? He has 61 matches, 41 goals, and 4 assists. 61 matches and 45 direct goal involvements with 41 goals. All right? So he has impressive numbers at Al-Hilal and has better stats than Caio Jorge in 2025. There's an important detail we should mention, right? Caio Jorge was a substitute for Marcos Leonardo. Do you guys remember that? Was Caio Jorge a substitute for Marcos Leonardo? That signing is going to get people talking, man. I think this one could be the signing. Due to his age, he still has much to develop. Imagine Flamengo with a young striker with high quality. Compete with Pedro there, or maybe even play alongside him. That's spectacular. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all platforms. On YouTube, subscribe, enable notifications, and like the video. Thanks for your company. Greetings to all fans. This is Flamengo. Big hug. I'm out.